Hey everyone, how you doing? I hope you're well and healthy and safe and all that stuff. Before we get into this episode, I'm going to try to quickly go through a bunch of things because realistically, this is the last video you're going to see from us for a while. It's nothing personal. It's just for the last handful of months, we've been in lockdown mode and haven't gone anywhere or done anything, so there's nothing to show you. First, are we alive and well? Yeah, we're alive and well. We're bored, like everybody else, but there's not much we can do about it right now. As many of you know, a handful of months ago, we were heading back to the boat to continue another sailing season. Brenda got injured. It was a bit of a doozy, and she's been in recovery mode for months. She's still not back to normal yet. So even if the world wasn't in lockdown and we were able to go back to the boat, we really couldn't. She just can't quite function with a rocking and bobbing boat. It's just not feasible. So we never went sailing this year, and that's just the way it goes. Our boat is sitting on stands in Puerto Penasco up in the northern Sea of Cortez, and it's going to sit there, well, for who knows how long. I don't see us getting back there anytime soon. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the boat or when we'll be back there. That's the short answer. But it's going to be fine. It'll sit on stands for as long as it needs to, and then we'll probably have a ton of work to get to once we're there. There's nothing we can do about that. We are still in Seattle right now, hanging out with my mama, which is a whole lot longer than we planned on. Thanks again for having us, Mom. Beyond that, I'm going to just apologize for a bunch of you. I haven't responded to emails, texts, messages, phone calls, you name it. I've been occupied. I haven't really wanted to say it out loud, but I've been trying to write a book. It's been something I've wanted to do for a really long time, but could never really find the time. But now that we're not doing anything, trying to be productive and typing away at a keyboard. It's really occupied all of my free time, my little bit of available brain power, and beyond that, I just haven't had much else in me to respond to questions and comments and emails and all that stuff. So sorry, it's nothing personal. I've been occupied. I will say, sitting down and writing a book has been a lot harder than I thought it would be, but at the same time, a lot more enjoyable than I thought it would be. It's been kind of fun, I guess. Maybe not fun, it's been enjoyable. That's the best way to put it. So, hopefully that'll get wrapped up before we're out of this lockdown, because I don't think I'd have time to do it otherwise. So I guess that's kind of it. I got nothing else. I hope you're happy, healthy, safe. We'll see you when we see you. In our last episode, we found ourselves smack dab in the middle of New Mexico. This time around, we find a couple more hidden gems we had no idea were there until we pulled off the highway. If you're the kind of person who's into old bits of recorded history, way down in south central New Mexico, there's one of the best sites around. And to see this stuff, all it takes is a quick drive a few miles off the highway and a quick few steps out of the car. This unassuming little rocky hill way out in the middle of nowhere just so happens to have one of the largest and most interesting collections of Native American rock art anywhere. And the fact that it's so easily accessible, well, that's just plain amazing. Well, this is the Three Rivers Petroglyph Site in, I guess this is sort of southwestern, maybe just south central New Mexico. This spot here has something like Over 21,000 petroglyphs on this little trail we're on, which is only about 1.5 miles. I've never seen anything like it. I think this could have the highest concentrations of petroglyphs in the world. I'm not sure about that. If you know of more, let me know, because I love this stuff. But everywhere you look, there's petroglyphs. It's pretty amazing. Dating back to between 900 and 1400 AD, this collection of over 21,000 individually documented petroglyphs is without a doubt a sight to see. And to find these things, you really don't have to look far. They're everywhere. And the carvings? Well, they include everything from plants and animals to insects to odd shapes to what mostly looks like they could be ancient aliens. Well, this is really something quite amazing. If you just happen to be driving by, this would just probably look like another little rocky hill out in the distance, but it's not. It's got a ton of stuff everywhere you look. This little rock garden of a hill is covered with petroglyphs. It sort of makes you feel like a explorer, treasure hunter, looking for secret hidden treasures, but you don't even have to look very far. They're everywhere. Some of this stuff is it's pretty easy to make out. Some of it's just geometric shapes. Some of it's pretty weathered and worn, and some of it looks pretty recent, even though it's almost 1,000 years old. Pretty incredible. Just tons of stuff, look. So at this point, I can't tell you how many of these kind of places we've been to. Tons and tons. This one, like I said, it's got the most I've ever seen. Some of those places we've been to, we've driven hundreds of miles way out in the boonies over some pretty rough desert roads just to see a few things. Here you just pull into a parking lot and you walk about 50 feet. And the farther you go in, the more you see. Yep, this is a pretty great place to spend the day. Not only do you get a rummage through a bunch of old ancient history, the backdrop, well, it's not too shabby either. After a handful of hours hiking around and perusing the rocks, and yes, thousands of pictures later, we were out of there. We were off to find ourselves a place to camp for the night. And even that was pretty easy. Not too much farther down the road, we pulled into this place. This is the Valley of Fires, an enormous lava flow dating back roughly 5,000 years and covering roughly 125 square miles. This vast layer of lava is roughly 160 feet thick and considered to be the youngest lava flow in the lower 48. And for us, it was gonna be a pretty great spot to spend the night. Well, look at this place. This is the Valley of Fires BLM recreational area. It's only about a half an hour from where we just came from, which was the Petroglyphs. And it looks like another pretty cool spot. There's cool stuff to see everywhere. There just is. But before I talk about this place, I kind of want to talk a little bit more about the last place, because I'm still sort of spun up on it. It, not to sound like a broken record, but it was kind of incredible. I can't tell you how many times we spent hours out in the middle of the desert just searching for a random petroglyph here or there. Maybe even days. We've done a lot of it in some pretty remote and rugged spots. And just to be able to pull off the road, go for a little hike, and see over 20,000 of them, incredible. Can't beat it. Amazing stuff to see everywhere. You just got to get out and see it. But this place here, it's another cool one. Lava flow in the middle of nowhere. A huge one. And we got a pretty awesome camp spot. Probably the best view here. But I think we're probably just going to enjoy this one for ourselves. There's a pretty nice hiking trail. We're going to go tool around on that probably tomorrow. But I will say this place has got real live showers. Hot water pressurized showers. Can't beat that. We do have a shower in the van, but it's not the same thing as a real live shower. Amazing. I feel like a new man. All right, thanks for watching. See you later. But I think that's about it for this episode. As always, thanks for watching, and I guess we'll see you when we see you.